10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Welcome to Idiot Blog 474. I'm your host, Idiot Burns, and you're listening to Hillbilly Health. Headspace, not Hellspace. Hillbilly Headspace. And you can find them at BDK 1184. BDK 1184. Nice. Today's show is in simulcast. You can find us at bandlab.com/idiotblog, youtube.com/idiotburns, and facebook.com/christopherburns. I'm going to go ahead and browse on over to one of those now so I can get a visual on the chat. And on my phone, I'm going to go ahead and double check Facebook. Looks like it's working on Facebook. As well as YouTube. Go ahead and click. No, it's not made for kids on YouTube. Well, it's a lovely Sunday, late Sunday, here in Washington, 11 o'clock. I got myself a rock star tonight. Go ahead and watch the blogs on my other device so that I give the RAM on my computer a little of invigoration, a little bit of a freedom to operate. Live videos. And I'm just opening them up so I can keep track of the chats if anyone's saying, "Hello, Mr. Fuckface. Mr. Facefuck." There we go. Nice. Cool tune. Nice. Go ahead and share the YouTube link on my BandLab page. Because why the fuck not? Idiot Blog 474 featuring at BDK 1184. Hillbilly Headspace. Boom. Post it. Go check it out. Of course, me saying go check it out here is not going to help you go check it out. But welcome, I mean. How's it going? This is a radio-style blog where we listen to the music of artists on bandlab.com, and we talk about the music. It's not necessarily a review of the music. It's just more of a promotion, a shout-out. Well, at times I may review, and I may And I may review things. It's just, yeah. It's not what it's about. Now, if you're interested in being on the blog, go ahead and drop me a, hey, get me on the blog. You can message on a post of mine. Any way you find I find the message is up to you. You can DM me, hit me on one of my posts. Go, hey man, I saw your blog. I'd love to be on your blog. Nothing fancy. Even if you've already been featured at some point, you can say something like, hey, I got more material. I'd love to get another chance on the blog. I'm down. This guy says, use this version of Chrome if you're going to be on BandLab all day, and mine Bitcoin at the same time as you're making music. Well, fuck, ain't that genius? Cool thing to share there, buddy. Definitely a cool thing to share. If you can be richer, why not be richer? By the way, wanted to say hello to anybody who might be viewing. Perhaps Carmen, you're watching. If you are, hello. Just listening to some hard rock metal artist here called Hillbilly Headspace. Now he has some collections I've considered going into that seem a little bit more on the electronic / industrial side of it. So if you're interested in that, maybe go check those out. Gonna be a little change coming to my room. Nothing huge, nothing major, but I'm gonna be changing out one of the preamps in my rig for a cool new upgrade. I probably shouldn't have spent the money that way, but I did. That's what happened. someone asked me this question. Not necessarily going to say who, but they asked me this question. Do you have any more instrumentals that sound like or give off the same vibe as Master of Groove? Master of Groove is featured in my... is featured by BandLab in a spot where you open up and start new projects. And do I have to pay you? Question mark. It wouldn't be a problem. I said, yo. And I said, he said, yo, sorry to spam. And I said, so I said, I have a collection called Master of Metal, and some in that collection are similar, and also some of my other metal collections. All music is available for forking on BandLab and to add to, remix, and save it for later, perhaps. Thanks for asking. And, you know, on the front of do I have to pay you, it wouldn't be a problem. I said, I take donations. Whatever you feel fit is fine. Appreciate you either way. I'm going to go ahead and hop on over to my collection, Master of Metal, and just send it that way. Just hit the share button, send to chat, most recent chat, there it goes, sent. And I sent him the collection, said these are up for forking. All my instrumentals are available for fork. I love that. I love sharing. I love creating. I love co-creating. I love inspiring. I love being inspired as well, but a lot of what I do on here traces more towards me inspiring others after being inspired by you. So it's a circular, reciprocating activity. You inspire me, I inspire you, you inspire me, I inspire you, you inspire me, I inspire you, you inspire me, I inspire you. I like how this is real tilty. It's a little bit freaky. It feels like it'd be pretty difficult to get to come off of its center of gravity, but I still want to take and put some Velcro on these surfaces and just get them to become a big, massive Velcro connect-a-dots thing, so it doesn't tilt forward. Velcro on the back. All it takes is a couple stripes of Velcro to keep something super secure like this. And it'd be a pity to have it all tumbling down. Now it doesn't feel like if I let go of it, it wants to go back. So it doesn't feel like it's going to tumble down, but it definitely doesn't feel rock steady. There we go. Back to some metal. Opened up my drink. 300 milligrams of caffeine in this one small can. Basically 3 times as concentrated as coffee. Low sugar, almost like a black coffee. Water, citric acid, caffeine. Those are the first 3 ingredients. Then a preservative. Then sucralose. Then vitamin, natural flavor, artificial flavor, vitamin. It's all vitamin after that. It's all vitamin. The preservative is the number 4, number 3 or number 4 ingredient. So it's pickle juice. I'm getting pickled. Another piss test this Friday. Maybe this will be the one that says 0. If you aren't aware, I'm in an EAP program with Boeing to become clean. I have quit using my drug of choice, marijuana, and just waiting for the shit to come out of my body. It just keeps hanging around. Recent tests. So I was at 20 nanograms per milliliter is how it's measured. I was at 20 nanograms per milliliter. Next I was at like 40. After that it popped back down to around 21. Then it popped up to 80. Before you knew it, I was back down to 18. Now I'm at 8 nanograms per milliliter. Maybe this week is the time where it's finally out. Maybe I'll be like 2 nanograms from, I don't know. I'm gonna drink water all week long. I'm gonna do some things like exercise, drums, and guitar. Once my cab comes, my guitar stuff comes, then I'll really be lost in space with my guitar gear. Ezra Wilmoth, what's going on? Howdy, welcome to the blog. Just browsing down here, looking at what's going on. Looks like it's not very alive today on the blog. This does happen. This does happen. Watching Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen, and the guy says to the guys in the men's team, has one lady on it. He says, anybody here feel like they don't have the skills to be the lead chef or head chef of Hell's Kitchen Tahoe? And one guy says, me. And he goes, take off your fucking jacket and get out of here. Why would you just give up like that? Maybe you find it in just an hour from now. You find that inner drive. It's never there to begin with. You're not born with it. It's something you work out like a muscle. And it can snap into strength at any moment. Maybe he realized it's too much stress. I don't know. Maybe he missed his family. I don't know. Hiccups. Interesting here. This one's called Hell's Half Acre. What's going on, Ron Swansong? Welcome to the Pacific Northwest. I'm out here at the base of Mount Rainier in Washington State. Surrounded by evergreens. I got 4 evergreens right in my backyard. We got a little campfire fort. Me and the kids kind of spruced up. It was something they made with their brother Jacob this last summer when he was here, and they were playing campfire. Well, we went and we put a bigger ring of rocks and a bigger surround, so it's like a large ring of rocks and a small ring of rocks with wood kind of crossing and crissy-crossing to make a look like a campfire. And we go out there and we pretend to do camping. And a little personal arboretum in the backyard. Would it be nice to have a back fence so the dogs could be back there and not leaving the yard? Yes. Would it be even nicer to have a small chain link to go across the back at one side, so we know they didn't go around the other side, and then maybe have a chain link with a door in it, so we could let them into the backyard, let them just chill out there for a little bit? Oh, fuck yes, it would be. Especially on nice days, leave a bowl of water for them and just let them sit in the backyard for a day. They would love that. They would fucking love that, especially as the other animals tried to come in and out of the yard. The cat would toy with them by being able to jump over the fence, going in and out of the area. That's a dream of mine for this yard. Maybe it's something we can figure out. Probably less than $1,000 to get a fence back there. Maybe I shouldn't have bought guitar gear and I should have just put a fence back there. Fucking no priorities. No priorities. But I did buy new preamps. And I'm fucking stoked because it's going to be an all-tube setup. I'm going to have the Fryette Ultra Lead set up on one side and the Steve Vai set up on the other side. If I don't like the Steve Vai, or if it's too compressed, or if it's just not my vibe, I'll probably end up getting another Fryette Ultra Lead section. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. If it has a really cool, clean sound, I'll probably ride it that way for a while. Oh, you're in Arlington. I just went and had an interview in Arlington with a company called Checksum. And then me and my dad got some gas and went to a barbecue in Everett. And dropping guitar picks. And you know, the interview in Arlington was really cool. Haven't heard back from him, so obviously it wasn't that cool. But still a great sounding company. Would be a great company to work for. Either way, it was nice seeing my dad, getting some barbecue, and yeah.
What the future will bring, no man can say.
Used to live in Mountlake Terrace for many years, 4.5 years, I'd say. Had a child there. Had a second child while living there. Just a few houses down from the Mountlake Terrace Pavilion. Used to commute into Seattle and work in Seattle when I lived there. Into the Pipeline. I like this one. The Wild Wild East. Mother Russia. It is wastelands, he says. I don't know about wastelands. More like wasted lands, because you're always drunk on the vodka. I'm sure. You're drinking before the show even starts, early morning. I'm sure of it. It's medicine. It's water. This year is a once every 17-year event of the cicada swarming in the United States. Interesting little article here. It says, Time feels real to people. But it doesn't even exist, according to quantum physics. There is no time variable in fundamental equations that describe the world. Theoretical physicist Carlo Rovelli tells Quartz. If you met him socially, Rovelli wouldn't assault you with abstractions and math to prove his point. He'd rather not ruin a party with physics, he says. We don't have to understand the mechanics of the universe to go about our daily lives, but it's good to take a step back every once in a while. Time is a fascinating topic because it touches our deepest emotion. Time opens up life and takes everything away. Wondering about time is wondering about every sense of our life. This is why I have spent my life studying time, he explains. His book, The Order of Time, published in 2018, is about our experience of time's passage as humans. The fact of its absence at the minuscule and the vast scales, and he makes a compelling argument that chronology and continuity are just a story we tell ourselves in order to make sense of the existence that we have, that are living. Time is an illusion, he contends. It's merely perspective rather than a universal truth. It's a point of view that humans share as a result of our biology and evolution, our place on Earth, and the planet's place in the universe. From our perspective, the perspective of creatures who make up a small part of the world, we see the world flowing and out in time, the physicist writes. At the quantum level, however, durations are so short that they can't be divided, and there is no such thing as time. In fact, Rovelli explains, there are actually no things at all. Instead, the universe is made up of countless events. Even what might seem like a thing, a stone, say, is really an event taking place at a rate we can't register. The stone is in a continual state of transformation, and on a long enough timeline, even it is fleeting, destined to take on some other form, whether it be gravel, dust. In the elementary grammar of the world, there is neither space nor time, only processes that transform physical quantities from one to another, from which it is possible to calculate possibilities and relations. Rovelli argues that time only seems to pass in an ordered fashion because we happen to be on Earth, which has a certain, unique, entropic relationship to the rest of the universe. Essentially, the way our planet moves creates a sensation of order for us that's not necessarily the case everywhere in the universe. Just as orchids grow in Florida swamps and not in California's desert, so is time a product of the planet we are on and its relationship to the surroundings, a fluke not inherent to the universe. The world seems ordered, going from past to present, linking cause and effect because of our perspective. We superimpose order upon it, fixing events into particular linear series. We link events to outcomes, and this gives us a sense of time. But the universe is much more complex and chaotic than we can allow for. Humans rely on approximate descriptions that actually ignore most of the other events, relations, and possibilities. Our limitations create a false or incomplete sense of order that doesn't tell the whole story. Physicists argue that, in fact, we blur the world to focus on it. This is black sky. It's kind of a Tool vibe to it. We blur the world to focus on it, blind ourselves to see. For that reason, Ravelli writes, time is ignorance. Wait, what? If all this sounds terribly abstract, that's because it is. But there's some relatively simple proof to support the notion time is a fluid, human concept, an experience rather than inherent to the universe. Imagine, for example, you are on Earth, viewing a far-off planet called Proxima b through a telescope. Ravella explains that now doesn't describe the same present on Earth and that planet. The light on the Earth you see when looking at Proxima b is old news, conveying what was on the planet 4 years ago. There was no special moment of Proxima b that corresponds to the present here and now. Yeah, there is. There's now. You're abstracting so far that you're removing understanding and depth of exactitude because you allow yourself to. That doesn't mean it's truth. This might sound strange until you consider something as mundane as making an international call. You're in New York talking to friends in London. When their words reach your ears, milliseconds have passed, and now is no longer the same as now, but still it is. It is. And it was when the person on the phone line replied, I can hear you now. Consider, too, that we don't share the same time in different places. But you do. They're related to each other. That's like saying, because I listened to the echo, that wasn't an echo. It's an echo. It's an echo. It's because it didn't happen at the same time as I play the guitar. It's not real. It's just an echo. Echoes happen in time frames. So I guess maybe I got too much delay in my guitar playing for me to move past on this abstract, but okay. He does say this, it was not until the 19th century when time travel demanded uniformity that noon came at the same time in New York and Boston, let's say. We needed to agree on time precisely, every place. Even relatively close villages operated on slightly different times. Noon was when the sun was highest in the day, and in Europe, church bells signaled when this time arrived, ringing at different times in every place. By the 20th century, we had agreed upon time zones, but it was a business decision, not a fact of the universe. And noon is the highest time for the sun. But noon here, whether or not the sun's rising some other place, is a time relative to another time. If it's noon 10 minutes later over there, that tells you the distance apart from each other, and it also tells you the time. But at noon here, whatever time that was in the universe, it was 11:50 over there. That's the same time. This is not the same time stamp. It's the same time. You can't use a stamp to change the reality of the math of time. Now, lining up and zoning things just makes for simple clock alignment and communication in a time-based manner for day-to-day events. It does not discuss time relativity for the world and places. This is a little convoluted. Likewise, time will seem to pass slower or faster depending on what you're doing. It might seem like it's doing that, but it's not. The minute in a quantum physics class might crawl by, seeming indeterminable, while hours at a party fly. I guess for somebody who is not very good at keeping time, that's okay, but you ask me what time it is any time of day, and I can tell you usually within 5 minutes or less what time it is. Even if I want to fucking play in another fucking state, I can tell you what time it is where I'm from. Relativity is not lost because you're being irrelevant and irreverent with your thoughts. That's some pretty dumb thinking, in my opinion. I'm sorry, quantum physicist. Why do you got a book about this? Ron says, vodka in the morning is hard. I had a friend, he's from Russia. He said when he has a cold or a sore throat, what he'll do is he'll sit down with a glass, he'll pour 3-4 ounces of wine, a shot of vodka, a shot of ethanol, and which is like, it's not a drinking alcohol, it's almost like a rubbing alcohol he'll put in there. Sometimes he'll put less than a shot. And a bunch of pepper. Lay down next to his bed and drink that so he stays asleep like a log for 10 hours. I'm like, you sure that doesn't kill you? Like, are you telling lies? That's what he says he does. Maybe he does. Maybe that's how he stays so energized. Basically, this guy believes that time is a story we're always telling ourselves in the present tense, individually and together. It's a collective act of introspection and narrative, record keeping and expectation. That's based on our relationship to prior events and the sense that happenings are impending. And they're not? Yeah, they are. It is the tale that gives us our sense of self as well. A feeling that many neuroscientists, mystics, and physicists argue is a mass delusion. I would say it's not. Without a record or memory and expectations of continuation, we would not experience time's passage or even know who we are. Time, then, is an emotional and psychological experience. It's loosely connected with external reality, he says, but it is mostly something that happens now in our head. Okay. Tell me how long you can go without food. That's how time used to work. It used to be counted between meals. Then it was counted between times our bodies got warm. Then eventually it was counted between times where we met new people. Then eventually it was counted between times we had kids and the deaths around us. Eventually it became a chronological ticking tick, 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 tick clock everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's a clock. Every phone, every computer, every room, every building, every person keeping track of time in a uniform sense. Aside from that, it's never not been part of us. You live and you die. You don't live forever and you don't die forever. You don't live forever and never die. You don't die forever and never live. You live and you die, and you do it in time. Interesting article. Don't know if I agree with this guy. Maybe I should have been a quantum physicist, because it seems like all they do is ponder the wording of things, not even debating actual science at a high level. Which one of them is good at math? Give me the ones that are good at math, and let's talk about it mathematically. Let's use math to describe how time isn't real, not just bullshit talk. Give me something better than that. That article just left me wanting more and better. What's going on, Cherokee? This is the Manhunt. We're listening to artist Hillbilly Headspace. You can find him at bdkfm.com. BDK1184. bandlab.com/BDK1184. Username @BDK1184. Go find them. Leave some likes. Hey, we got some chatting. We got some nice chatting going on over here. Hey, what's going on, guys? How's it going over there, Ben? Tin Man, Philip Wooten. Philip Wooten, are you the hillbilly? Oh, Philip Wooten, what user are you? Let me know what your user is on BandLab. Philip Wooten. Is it Galaxy Battle Cat 999? Take a screenshot. I'm gonna check that out. Manhunt. Nice. Turn this up a little bit. Yeah. Rosie, what's going on? Sunday's been a nice family day here, but halfway through the day, I fell asleep for a nap. My family disappeared, and I've been alone here for a few hours, doing nothing. Since I woke up from my nap, figured I'd come out here do a blog. My wife brought me some food. She went to Denny's, which is a how do you describe Denny's? Someone who's ever been there, never heard of it. Denny's is mostly a breakfast-oriented place. Usually it's open 24 hours, and they also serve burgers and steaks and other things, but they're mostly breakfast-centered. My wife was there with her sister and the little girl, and said, "Hey, you want me to order you something? I'll bring it home." And I ordered country fried steak and eggs, which is like a pounded out piece of meat that's breaded. It's a steak that's pounded out and breaded and fried like chicken. So it's chicken fried steak with a country gravy, which is like a pork gravy on it. Like a white gravy, and then hash browns, 4 pieces of toast, and a bunch of scrambled eggs. And I've dipped the scrambled eggs in the country gravy. The song's called Utopic Delusions. I had a physics teacher, Mr. Clark, at Winnetka High School, Kirkland, Washington, give me a copy of Brian Greene's The Elegant Universe when I was 17 years old. And I read through that book, and I've browsed it again and again many times at different stages in my life. And it happens to be a great piece of knowledge many physicists have built upon. It seems to have become somewhat of a framework that people from my era have used as a trampoline to bounce into deeper thought on quantum physics, string theory, and how everything relates. But then you have people testing electrons. Testing electrons. Are they up quark, down quark? Do they change states? Flowing electrons on a very precise instrument, devising their characteristics based on results of tests in infinitely small measurements. We have space travel. We're competing nation to nation in space travel using ionic drives, pushing cesium particles through a system of platinum to create ionic pressure to move us through space at several thousand miles per hour. Speaking of space race, using the orbit of other planets and celestial bodies to create momentum and shoot us off in directions without having to have steering mechanisms of a highest order, and simply relying on the propulsion of an ionic drive and the gravitational alignment. Precision on a level unlike any other. Rocketry and space travel, guiding us to other planetary systems. Will we ever reach them? It seems right now that the closest body to ours that is possibly inhabitable and most likely to have water has a year that is 19 days long, meaning it goes around its sun in 19 days. For the small size of that sun, in order to be in the inhabitable region of its solar system, it's so close to that sun and traveling at such a speed that it's at 19-day years. It goes all the way around the sun in 19 days. Speaking of time relativity, isn't that a short year? How old are you? Well, let's see. Earth years? I'm 70. But on this planet, I'm already 1,500 years old. Makes you wonder. Makes you wonder. Nice. Pillars of salt. Rough demo. Reminds me, we need salt. Kitchen salt. Table salt. Kid ate all of it. He put salt on his lemons. Interesting thing. Alright guys, this is probably gonna wrap the show up here. Hope you guys all enjoyed. Tin Man says he's going to be cleaning up some instruments. I say use a soft rag and a Q-tip. Q-tip to get to the spots where you can't reach, and a soft rag. Just the way I go. I almost never use even any kind of water unless I have to, unless there's some kind of splooge, sneeze, or dripping. Soda pop, whatever, what have you, on the fucking guitar. Otherwise, if it's just dust, usually going for a soft rag, Q-tip. If you're cleaning in around the strings and stuff, nothing wrong with having a Q-tip with a little bit of oil on it. Whether it's cooking oil, bacon grease, or an oil just like gun oil. Gun oil is a great one. And you just get that in there and around on some of the spots where there are screws and little small pieces, and that will keep them from getting to that point where they start to corrode and they start to rust. And the corrosion and the rust will happen if dust is there, and that dust traps and absorbs moisture and keeps a little system going. So get rid of the dust. Add a little bit of oil. You can always wipe it again after you've oiled it to take all the residual oil off, in case you accidentally put too much, located too much on the parts. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. I'm your host, Idiot Burns. And I'll catch you guys on the motherfucking flip side. Keep making music. Later.